Sideshow and Matthew Morello coming back to you deliver some more hot takes in our head-to-head from Plat chat. And this week's topic is Birdring centric. The Bird is back on the Gladiators, but is he back? Is he back to his old form? Birdring previously has been... I mean... To be honest, it almost seems wrong, though, to start this topic by saying that Birdring has been one of the best players in Overwatch, because that was before the Overwatch League. His real peak was in Apex, kind of the last couple of seasons of Apex. He was really an absolute beast, playing with like Fissure and Rascal on his team and stuff like that.
Arguably the best player in the world.
Yes, at that point in time, he was just unbelievably good. And then in the Overwatch League, he was always playing second fiddle to Profit on the London Spitfire, and then he actually just, in my opinion, he just straight disappeared for a period of time, and it seemed like he was not motivated. There was all of this discussion about whether or not he would even, whether he was totally washed or whether he would revive his career just being in a different kind of space with the Gladiators. I feel like he's back. I've been watching the last couple of games that he's played, and this guy has been on fire. He's been able to play a lot more Tracer. He was playing the Reaper in their loss against Soul. He still looked really good on the Reaper. This feels like Birdring rejuvenating his career, kind of getting back to his old form.
I'm going to take the angle that Birdring never really left.
Oh my God.
The fact that, okay, hear me out. Hear me out.
I wouldn't have known he even played for half a year.
Is he the best player in the world again? No. Is he as good as he was on London? I would say so. Right now. I mean, we haven't seen him on the Widow, kind of what he ran to the finals with. I don't think you can really hold the fact that he didn't want to play Brig or Zarya against him. He was uninterested in the game.
Yeah,
but he didn't magically become bad overnight. Like, the guy is still good. His skill in that player never left. Just it was a determination and a happiness thing with playing the game.
Okay,
and he went to the sideline, and now he's back on heroes that he likes to play, and now everybody's surprised he's dunking again.
Right, but that makes sense.
Michael Jordan went and played baseball for 2 years, and he came back, and he was good.
More bloody basketball.
And he was good.
Okay, Matt, that would make sense if all he played was Zarya and Brig. I can get that, all right? That was like, Corey was terrible at Zarya. That's fine. I don't hold it against the guy. That's
fundamentally Corey to Birdring video? Come on, bro.
That's a fundamentally different hero, though, right? Like, it works so differently. And Brig, no one really enjoys playing Brig, and honestly, Birdring wasn't even that bad at Brigitte. My problem, though, is when you cast your mind back to the playoffs and you look at London Spitfire when they were playing in the playoffs and Birdring was playing the Doomfist. Listen, Doomfist is fun. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me that Birdring doesn't enjoy playing the Doomfist for some random reason.
But at that point, though, they weren't the same. It's just bad vibes with that team. They weren't the same team.
Bad vibes. Bad juju. Oh, no.
I mean, we were a few games from Krillin probably playing a significant amount of time. I mean, come on, man. Like you can't give me that. Like, that team was one that was imploding.
Yeah, they were also imploding at the end of Season 1 when they went and won the finals. This team had some weird magic.
You're judging the captain of a ship on how well he drives the ship with a bunch of holes in it going down into the ocean. It's not his fault the ship's got holes in it.
I'm not judging the captain of a ship. I'm judging, I don't know, I think some janitor that most people have forgotten about. Birdring was certainly not the captain of the London Spitfire.
But he was never like... You never watched Birdring even when he was on, okay, maybe his Doomfist performance wasn't great. Okay.
I'm not even talking about how bad his Doomfist performance was, by the way. His Doomfist was pretty good. I'm talking about the report afterwards that he literally just didn't want to play and just didn't play for the final match, so they just had to use somebody else.
Maybe it was because it was a bad team environment.
Yeah,
that happens all the time.
Sure.
It happens all the time. And when you feel good, you play good. I know you don't really get that because you're.
I always feel bad. I always feel bad,
and that's why you're always playing bad. So you got to change your. Maybe you got a little Birdringitis, or you're falling into a slump.
Yeah.
You don't. It was the same thing with Carpe. People are like, Carpe's washed. He's not good anymore. Like, you don't go from being that good to like the monsters sucking your powers out. You just forget how to play. Like, it doesn't happen. Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, it doesn't happen.
But I agree with you on the Carpe front, because the obvious thing that we could see with Carpe was that the whole team of the Philadelphia Fusion were messy. They were all over the place. There seemed to be a lot of internal conflict.
Same thing.
I don't believe that London was the same thing, because everything we heard about London,
nobody's still there.
Everybody that we heard about London was focused on Birdring. It was Birdring's got wrist issues. Birdring doesn't want to play. Birdring's not being able to pull his weight. This kind of stuff. It was never like, you never heard about Gesture being mad about the team or Profit being angry or like anything else. It was always, the focus was always on Birdring. Like, he was the
fact
problem.
That the team didn't work, and then they all are in. I mean, outside of Bedosian, Profit, and Gesture are all in Soul Dynasty. Fury's over in Philly, Birdring's now in LA. They broke that team up because it wasn't working.
Did they break that team up because it wasn't working, or did Jack from Cloud9 just want some fat stacks in his bank account and want to invest it in CS or something like that?
You got to get the stacks, dude. While the stacks are there, I mean,
you do. Yeah,
I mean, we're not doing a podcast on money, but if the stacks are there, you take them.
Can we though then agree that Birdring looks much better in the Gladiators than he has done ever on London? I mean, apart from maybe when he was playing Widowmaker in the finals last year, you know, that entire playoff run, okay, Birdring was pretty nutty. But the majority of the time that he's been on London, he was always second fiddle to Profit, never really the big player. On Gladiators, he is.
Yeah, he does. He does look better than he has in a very long time. I think it's just maybe like, if there's somebody where any players who benefit from hero pools, it's players who can play multiple heroes at a high level, and that's exactly what Birdring falls into. Birdring has a lot of strong heroes across the board in terms of the damage dealers, right? Like, he's one of the guys who can even play some projectile and hit scan. Like, he can play a little bit of both, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
He didn't get the luxury of doing that on London, because the person who would just rotate around and play everything, whatever the hell he wanted to, was Profit.
Yeah.
It was Birdring had to play just like whatever the stable thing was, and then Profit gets to just have fun. Like, oh, I'll play Genji this round, Tracer the next one. I'll play a little bit of Widow. Screw it, I'll play some Hanzo. Like, Birdring was probably a little bit jealous, like, hey, I could do all that.
Yeah, I actually think that's a really good point. I think that's one of the reasons why Birdring never did perform up to his same caliber on London. Because you think about in the past, he was always paired with Rascal. And Rascal is that guy that just can play anything and is always going to be the second DPS.
He was like the fill-in guy. Yeah, the fill-in guy.
For sure. And Birdring used to be the carry, and I think on London, I mean, obviously, when you're playing with Profit, you are no longer the carry. Profit can play everything, but he's also just an absolute beast of a player. Now he's back on Gladiators, he is the carry player. I mean, you're not telling me that Mirror or Jaru are the carry players, unless Mirror's specifically playing the Doom and you have to allocate resources to him, because that's how Doomfist works. But generally, Birdring is going to be the one that all of your resources are going into.
It's like basketball when they pair guys up, right? And, one guy,
bloody bouncy ball analogies.
Yeah, they get a guy from a team who's like an A number one who takes 20 shots a night, and then you get another guy who comes in who takes 20 shots a night, and then you bring in a third guy who takes 20 shots a night. It's like, well, you can't have three people taking 60 shots. Like, somebody's got to sacrifice. And the thing with London is Birdring always took the back seat to Profit no matter what. And Birdring's like MVP caliber like talent, right? When he can kind of do his thing and you play around him. And he probably sat there and was just like, man, like, this is cool, we're winning and stuff, but like, I'm just kind of walking around following the team as Profit just kind of does everything. It's a little boring for a player of that caliber with a player of that skill. It can become a little bit tedious and like monotonous, that you're just kind of like wasting away being the assist guy.
Yeah,
where he was trying like, I can be the number one guy on a team in this league and make waves.
Here's my follow-up question to all of this, though, really, is that because you don't believe that Birdring was ever gone, presumably you don't believe that he ever can go again. Like, you just think that this is going to be how... Because here's my thing.
Let's say, where is go again get to?
So, with Birdring being... Like, my take is that Birdring really did disappear for a while. His motivation was low. He didn't want to play this kind of stuff. He genuinely did play worse than his potential on London for a variety of reasons. Now he looks like he's remotivated again. He's playing at his top. But I really think there's a chance... just against his form in the past, against his previous form when he was playing in Apex, against his previous form when he was playing on London, against his form right now. I think a drop-off for Birdring could definitely happen this season as well. We're very young in the season.
Yes.
It's very possible, maybe even likely, that Birdring ends up going downhill from here.
Do I think he can get back to like how good he was like during Apex? I don't think so. Can he get as good, if not a bit better than what he was on London? I think so. And I think I just don't think he can get back to where he was during Apex. And I don't even think it's a Birdring thing. I think it's just the overall quality of play with Overwatch League has just gone way up. That the ability for just like people to just pop off and just like take control of a match is just not as high as it once was, especially with the heroes and the concepts that have been introduced since then. I don't think it's possible. Do I think he can get back to how he was on London, or if not better? Yes, I do think his ceiling is still somewhere between there, somewhere between. And look, if you're a fan or of the Gladiators or a fan of Birdring, and you're like, hey, his potential is somewhere between where he was on London and like arguable best player in the world, you'll take that. That's a pretty legit player.
For sure, yeah. I mean, that would be amazing if he managed to keep it up all season. My question is, can he keep it up all season long?
I think he can, because he won't end up in a rut in terms of having to play heroes that he doesn't want to play, or the meta kind of turns on him. And the only and let's put this way, if he does have that, he sits for a week. It's not like it's gonna last like how it's lasted in the past, 3 months, to 4 weeks with the same meta, 5 weeks. He takes a week off and he comes back. Hey guys, the meta's not really looking too good for me this week. I need a break. All right, yeah, fine. Let's sit Birdring for 1 game, 2 games.
Yeah,
and then he's back in action the next
for a week, and then he just comes back.
Yeah, I mean, hey, nobody's gonna question that. Yeah, take a week off. Who cares? Like, that's why I think you can keep him fresh throughout the season. You can keep him engaged and having fun. And I think you can get one of the better players in the league.
Pretty interesting. We'll see. We've got a close eye on Birdring and the rest of the Gladiators throughout 2020. I wonder how online games is going to fit with a guy like that as well, because it must change things, but I think it must be different for every player. It's so hard to know.
Hey, if he can hang out at home, doesn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's not really his home, though, is it? I mean, his home is in Korea.
True. He can hang out in his second home.
Yeah. So,
third home.
Anyway, let us know what you think as well. Is Birdring back? Was he ever, in fact, gone? Because Matt hit me with the old left hook there. I thought he was going to try and say that Birdring...
Looking through my crystal ball of info.
All right. Do you agree with Matt's crystal ball? Let us know in the comments, and stay subscribed for some more content like this coming at you in the future.